asshole for completely canceling my stepdaughter's birthday bash and leaving her with nothing after I broke up with her dad. I, 43 female, broke up with my ex, Charlie, 42 male, last spring, after finding out that he cheated with his ex, Sandy, 34 female. We were together for 3 years, in which I was a very committed stepmother to his kid, Sarah, 17 female. She and I never acted like mother-daughter, but I was the go-to adult when she had problems or if she needed anything because she and her mom didn't get along. My ex would try to help, but his solutions weren't very effective. A year and a half ago, I completed a very ambitious project for a large company. I started getting paid, but bonuses and royalties only came in this year after launching. I was so happy and so grateful that I opened accounts for my kids. I decided to give Sarah a birthday party that she wanted. Her birthday falls in July, and she wanted a pajama party for 25 people with a big bash, a fancy cake, balloons, a DJ, and to go along with her friends to stay in a hotel out of town. This would be for her 18th birthday. I set up a savings account for the party under my main bank account. Charlie ended up asking me to help him fund a business idea, but I declined that for various of reasons. We're not married, and I prefer to go solo. His business idea sucked because he was inventing the wheel, and I would have been funding everything. We ended up having to close the conversation because he got angry and said he needed a helpful partner by his side. I responded that I was taught not to give men my money. I know I was harsh, and I apologized for it. I began to feel very insecure when Charlie started to criticize my makeup and personal style. He also praised women to my face, and I felt horrible. Early in the relationship, we had issues because of his communication with Sarah, his ex. It resulted in him promising that he was going to cut her off. Fast forward, I began to notice that Sarah was very active in his family's social media. She gave likes and commented a lot, so I asked him if they were still in contact because it just didn't make sense. He initially denied it. I went on a 10-day business trip, and our communication was very off. He would only take my calls until early in the night and became very vague about his daily activities. I couldn't reach him at all for 2 nights on several days apart. He sounded weird when we did finally speak. I lied about having to delay my return date for a few days and arrived a day earlier instead. I came home to find used condoms in the trash. Oh, hell no. My world was shattered and I got sick. His face changed when he saw me home. He also claimed to have been with his mother until later that night. I told him that I was sick when he asked me what was going on. I didn't mention that I knew anything. He rushed to take out the trash and to do the laundry. I got into his phone. I know it's wrong, but I found hundreds of messages from his ex. Pictures, voicemails, and conversations like they had never even broken up. Girl. Oh, hell no. Hell no. I'm waiting to see what it was that the daughter did for you to decide to cut ties. Like, I completely understand being upset and deciding I want nothing to do with you. We're breaking up. That's it. That's all. But you're taking back her birthday party after agreeing to do it for her and setting up an entire account for her. So I'm waiting to see exactly why you're feeling like it's okay to pull everything back from her. My ex talked to Sarah a lot. He consulted her about things, told her about his day. Then I found a family chat that made me sick. He, Sarah, and Sandy spent 2 days at a camping site last year when I was visiting family. There were pictures from last Christmas with his ex at his mother's house. So everybody in his entire family assumed they were still in a relationship and nobody said anything to you. Girl, I understand why you're now willing to take away her birthday bash that you're funding because she's 17. You said that Sarah is 17. She knew what the fuck was going on and she knew that it was wrong. And instead of saying something was 100% okay with allowing you to continue to fund this birthday party. I would have taken it back too. I don't give a damn how mean that makes me. I would not have funded this party either because I'm not planning to go to this motherfucker. Ain't no way in hell everybody in your life is going to eat and drink and enjoy themselves on my fucking dime. Hell no. I would have taken this shit back too. I would have too. Obviously, Charlie had a full-blown relationship behind my back and his entire family was aware of it. I directly confronted him and he tried to deny it until I laid out one of the voicemails. I couldn't take the humiliation, so I moved out weeks later. I closed the bank account for the birthday bash and I kept the money for myself. I cut everyone off, including his kid. He reached out the last week of May and pleaded with me not to take away Sarah's birthday celebration. I never replied. I know she's a teenager and that she has no control over her dad's actions, but she seemed awfully comfortable in her pictures with his ex. I feel extremely betrayed. Also, there's no way in hell I'm funding a party that I'm not going to attend for obvious reasons, period. I said the same thing. I'm not funding a party that I'm not going to. No, I'm sorry, but that's not how that works. I'm not going to go. There's no way that I'm going to fund a party that I'm not going to for obvious reasons, and I don't want to contribute to a celebration so his shitty family can eat and drink on my dime. Girl, are you me? Because I said I said the exact same fucking thing. Sarah's mom has always had separate celebrations for her, and her gift was supposed to be a camping trip. My ex's family can't afford the celebration unless they saved way in advance. Wait. I thought the ex was Sarah's mom. It's not even her mom. It's a completely different bitch. Just a whole nother separate ex that this man has been with. That's not Sarah's mom and that's not OP. I thought that, damn, okay. When shit clicks too late. Wow. My best friend says that maybe I can send Sarah a gift if I find it in myself to forgive her actions, but I don't feel like it. His sister sent me a voicemail the other day asking me to please don't turn my back on her niece. I feel awful because I know this was Sarah's dream, but I'm too disgusted to back out from my decision. Am I the asshole? Edit. The ex that he cheated with was not Sarah's mom. She's an ex-girlfriend and much younger. Her mom is also in her 40s. Girl, I figured that out already. That clicked about a paragraph and a half. Yeah, girl, I figured that out already. Y'all, I was so ready to plead Sarah's case. I was, because I know initially I was like, fuck that. I would have took my money back. I'm not paying for shit. But at the end of the day, I was like, as I was thinking, it was like, okay, well, she was in a hard position between her mom and dad. Like, she wants her parents to be together. We can't truly really expect her to choose over having her parents together versus not telling her dad's girlfriend. That is not the case. That is not the case. It is not. Sarah, you suck, girlfriend. You're not getting a birthday party, not on my dime. No, this is not your mom. This is just some other woman that your dad has dated. Ma'am, girlfriend, that is not okay. You're 17. You're 17. You knew that this was not okay. Hell no. Hell no. Now we see why Sarah's mom has separate celebrations, because she absolutely wants nothing to do with her baby daddy and his family. Am I the asshole for filing for divorce because my husband over-tightens all the jar lids? Him over-tightening the jar lids has been an issue since he was just visiting my house when we were dating. First, it started with just things that he used, and then over time, it became every damn glass jar with a metal lid. He tightened them so much that I couldn't get them open without assistance. It wasn't a huge deal if he was there, but if I was alone, it was so annoying. More times than I can count, I've opened a new jar of something because I couldn't get the original jar open. He's doing this on purpose. Like every jar with a metal lid, sir, he's got to be doing it on purpose. Ain't no way all the jars, I get a few jars every now and then, but all the jars, he's doing it on purpose. He's got to be. It's been a reoccurring cycle over the past 5 years. It's just a thing that would escalate until I had a major meltdown and freaked out, screaming, frustrated, and seemingly crazy because it's just a lid. Then it would get better for a while. Then it would slowly become an issue again, just getting worse and worse until I reach my breaking point again. Sometimes I literally feel insane for being so upset over jar lids. He initially claimed that he did it to keep the food fresh. After many arguments about it and my insistence that I don't believe it keeps anything fresh, and even if it does make things last longer, I don't care if it means I can't eat my freaking food when I want. No, for real. You're making it super tight so that it keeps the food fresh, but the food gonna go bad eventually because I can't get this shit open to eat it when I fucking want to. That makes no fucking sense. I would just replace the things that go bad because they're closed normally. Then his excuse was, it's just a habit. Sir, get the fuck out of here, you and your habits. About a month ago, my husband had a family emergency and he had to travel out of state for 10 days. The first day he's gone, I discover a jar I can't open. I was annoyed and I was just gonna go to the store to buy new pickles when the neighbor said hi and to let him know if I needed anything while my soon-to-be ex is out of town. I said, wait here, got the jar, and he opened it. The next day, I seen him outside, and I asked him to come and open another jar. He offered to come and open all the jars. Bro said, look, when I said ask me for anything, I didn't really mean it, so let me just come and open the jars now, so you don't have to ask me every single day to open these goddamn jars. I agreed. He came in, and he went to the fridge and opened all the jars except 2, which he couldn't get open. Your husband is doing this on purpose. You guys know what it's making me think of? It's making me think of that guy that was like stalking and harassing his ex so that he could step in and be like her white knight. That's what this is giving me. Your husband is over tightening the jars. That way he can feel like you need him. So you have to come to him so that he can open it for you. That's how I feel about this. I thanked him profusely and I told him I'd bake him some of his favorite cookies later in the week. He laughed and said it was no big deal. And after confirming I wouldn't be upset if the remaining 2 jars were destroyed in his attempt to open them, he took him to his garage to open them one way or another. He said that he's heard me screaming about over-tightening jar lids a few times over the years, and he's really pondered if I was crazy or if my husband was really over-tightening the lids. He said, you know this was intentional. It was every jar, and I'm sure he doesn't regularly use hot pepper paste or mango puree or any of your fancy cooking stuff. Then he held up the two jars he couldn't get open and said, I don't know why he's doing it, but it wasn't an accident. I'm glad your neighbor said that, because now I know I'm not crazy, because my first thought was he's doing it on purpose. He's doing it every jar in the fucking refrigerator. You don't use every jar in the refrigerator on a daily basis. So there's no reason for everything to be over and tightened unless he specifically went in there and checked every single jar and tightened them himself. It had to be done on purpose. After he left, I locked the door and sat on my kitchen floor and cried. I felt hot and lightheaded. I vomited in the trash can. My chest hurt. It crossed my mind that I might have been having a heart attack. I thought about calling an ambulance, but I sat back down on my kitchen floor instead, just okay with dying if it was a heart attack. Oh, girlfriend. Baby girl said this man has been making me feel like I have been crazy for the last 5 years. And when she realized that maybe I wasn't fucking crazy, she had a panic attack and was just okay with just clocking out of life. Like, that's terrible. You're not the asshole for divorcing this man, because ain't no way in hell I'm going to be so fucking hurt that I am okay with my heart giving out on me. No, baby, you need to leave this man, because this is not okay. Later, the neighbor came back with an open jar of hot fudge and apologized that he couldn't save the figs. He said he broke the jar trying to get it open. He also apologized for what he said about my husband doing it on purpose. I assured him that it was okay. I couldn't sleep that night. I tossed and turned all night. I called out of work. By 10 a.m., I realized I couldn't stay married anymore, and I made an appointment with a lawyer for the next day. There are literally no other issues. No cheating, no abuse. We had a good sex life. We both have good jobs, a nice house, no financial issues. He was absolutely blindsided when he came home and I told him I wanted a divorce. He still won't admit that he tightened the lids on purpose. He suggested we go to marriage counseling, but I refused. There's no point. I just literally can't get past the goddamn jar lids. I still feel a bit crazy about that. I have no idea why he would tighten every jar lid so tightly that I couldn't open it. He's given me no reason. He still won't even admit that he's done it on purpose. But the hot pepper paste is in the back of the fridge. I only use it when I make Indian food. It's behind other things. He's never used it. It's nothing you could put in food without cooking it. The pepper paste could not have been an accident. It couldn't. Maybe he put mango puree on his toast or on his oatmeal, but the pepper paste couldn't have been an accident. So that's what my life come down to. I'm getting a divorce because the lid to my hot pepper paste was over tight. If it had been every jar except that one, I could try. I could have a sliver of doubt. I could do something else, but I just can't get past the hot pepper paste. Most of our friends and families either think I'm crazy or an asshole. What do you think? I don't think you're crazy, nor do I think you're an asshole. Because you know your partner in ways that your family and friends never will. You know his behaviors. You know exactly what he does when it comes to the food and the shit that's in your house. You know he's never used this pepper paste. So you know for a fact that he's tightened it for whatever fucking reason he has. Whatever his reasoning is, and for 5 years, you have blown up and flipped out and screamed and yelled to try to get him to stop doing this. Over and over and over again, and you're tired of it. You're tired of it. Regardless of how simple it seems to other people, this is your breaking point. This is your breaking point. You know for a fact that he's doing these things on purpose and he's denying it. No one else in the fucking house could have done it. It's you and it's him. If you can't get this shit open, I know good and goddamn well you're not the one closing it that tight. He just needs to fucking admit it, and he can't. And he can't tell you, yes, I'm doing it on purpose. And for whatever fucking reason, it's always a different reason after you push and push and push. And you're tired of fucking pushing. I could not be with someone who was willing to drive me crazy over something as simple as a goddamn lid on a jar in the refrigerator. I don't think you're crazy, nor do I think you're the asshole at all.